Well, hey, VSM family, as always, just want to take a couple quick minutes and give you some updates as to what God is doing in and around Bologna Student Ministries. Very first update I want to give you is a reminder about See You at the Pole Wednesday morning at 7 o'clock. We're asking students to gather together on their campuses and seek God's face. The theme this year is Return, Restore, and Revive. It's what we see God doing throughout the Old Testament in and around His people of Israel. As His people return to Him, He would restore relationship with them, and He would send about revival in the land. And we desperately need that, especially in this year of 2020. So I'll be sending some more updates, some practical things about the bad weather, most likely, and about the COVID safeguards that we're going to have. We invite you to join together before school on your campuses and fellowship with students together in a socially distant way, asking God to help us restore and be revived as we return to Him. But I also want to give you another invitation to join us Wednesday night for our Level Groups ministry, a ministry where we commit to meeting students at their level, all so that we can elevate them to furthering their life with Jesus Christ. We've been in the book of Ephesians. We finished chapter 1 over the last 2 weeks in our small groups, and this week we're going to look at Ephesians chapter 2. And this chapter is one of, if not the most important passage in the Bible, because it defines for us what makes Christianity Christian. What gives us a relationship with Jesus? What does it mean to have faith in Him? And what does it mean to be forgiven of our sin? Paul says in Ephesians chapter 2 verse 1, "And you were dead in your trespasses and sins." He makes it very clear what the true problem of all of us is. It's not other people, and it's not that we need to try harder. It's that apart from a walk with Jesus, apart from a life with God, we are dead, helpless, and hopeless in our trespasses and sins. And in those first few verses, as Paul lists out how bad that condition is, in verse 4 he says, But God, because of His mercy and the riches of His love, has brought about a saving mission in Jesus Christ." And we're going to look at that mission tomorrow night. It's Wednesday night. We're also going to look at the basic premise of Christianity in Ephesians 2 verses 8, 9, and 10, about how through grace and through faith we are saved. It's not of ourselves, it is God's gift that we trust in Jesus Christ alone. And in verse 10 we do that because the Bible says we are God's workmanship and masterpieces that He has created beforehand to do good works through. So I invite you to that. I also invite you to bring an appetite. As always, you can have dinner with your family, but I'll be throwing some things in the oven. This time I'll do some pigs in the blanket, one of my personal favorites. So come and be a part of what God is doing in and around our church. Come be a part of what God is doing in and around your school at See at the Pole. And please be involved in what God is doing in and around Bologna Student Ministries as we commit to making disciples who make disciples through gospel transformation.